Hey, what's up? This is Dave Shepard. We're broadcasting live from the ERB building right here at VCU. We're going to start right at 10 a.m. Until then, enjoy some beats.
Freak, keep staring, but the case closed. Tablet lava by my summer, make my days long. Touch up it, teak, in my bed clothes. Ask a question, all my friends are fake, whoa. Double, no, triple six, your topic list. Used to do it 9 to 5, no double shift. If he don't shut up, well, he's not my friend. He playing greedy with the list, come get your mess. Do rag activity, do rag activity, do rag activity, do rag activity. Big stench, yes, you big stench. You big stench, yes, you big stench. You big stench in my life, you big stench. You big stench in my life, you big stench. I'm big rich. Go run that karma to your mama, whoa, whoa. You know I'm crazy like my mama, whoa, whoa. You know I get it from my mama, whoa, whoa. Don't talk to your mama crazy, whoa. Have a baby, whoa. Give me deep and bend my hair. Now while I'm praying, don't be eyeballing your sister, whoa. Smoking mystical, 2-0 getting physical, more like scissoring. Kiss her teeth, no Listerine, teeth flickering, and it tastes like tangerine. You went back to your ex on me, judge a flesh on me, but that do not mean anything. Quit texting me, you got an innocent face, I stroke it. You got good taste, when we met I left you frozen. I know you wanna be a rich focus. You love me because I get the check and throw it. Do rag activity, do rag activity, do rag activity, do rag activity. Big stench, yes, you big stench. You big stench, yes, you big stench. You big stench in my life, you big stench. You big stench in my life, you big stench.
Your energy is 666 and minus plus. Then gotta put them crosses on before we met. What time we taking out today, my type of stress. I send them blessed, my blood surprise, they gon' collect. Ain't seen your in about 2 weeks, but how you doing? Well, this Bugatti cost me 3, I tend to do it. Full trap, you at? If it's beef, it's pedigree, my dogs gon' chew it. Taking blues right after blues, that's how she blew it. Ain't the back boy, it got to me, she running through it. Keep talking red when we do crash, just have insurance. Talking money when I'm on the Peloton for the endurance.
Good IQ, and she cute, so she special. And I like the way she bounce it instrumental. I can't fall in love, it's up my I can't whip on a minstrel. 2-8, need the fate. I like you 4 a.m. when it ain't safe. And she with the blick when it's late. She brought me when I down, she tight my braids up. She go out, I go in, it's okay. She keep powder on her nose, it's not no makeup. Bandana silky on her braces, how they lay up. She need it like she need a taste.
Do rag activity, do rag activity, do rag activity, do rag activity. Big stench, yes, you big stench. You big stench, yes, you big stench. You big stench,
Gotta get that
you big stench.
if you're over there.
You big stench, in my life, you big stench.
Oh, yeah. What's up, everyone? Oh, yeah, maybe not. You can get in the corner. Yeah. All right, hope y'all are doing great. This is Code Beats, day 5. We're gonna be starting in just a few minutes. As you can tell, we're broadcasting live from VCU's Engineering Research Building. I'm Dave Shepard. Thomas right behind me. Hope y'all are doing great. Enjoy the beats.
Bueno got the streets going crazy. I told him PJ got the track.
Say something, I'll make it sound off. Go hold 100, I can knock the whole crowd off. Yeah. I don't need no vouch for me. My count can speak. Tryna bring up odds, I told her I don't speak opposite. She like, why you keep me wrong, but it's the top and just the drops of me. They want me in the cell, they tryna stop me like Monopoly. Dissing in his feelings, I ain't tripping, he just talk loud. Pull a bar, mail about to sell, they just create ball. All my ops got you can ask them what they I'm not friendly, I got this on my business, you should stay out. I quit sipping, I can't doze off. Spitting, get the ripping all the doors off. He was a troll, got old, I made him doze off. Put my shoes down, I'm tryna wash his. I quit sipping, I can't doze off. Spitting, get the ripping all the doors off. He was a troll, got old, I made him doze off. Put my shoes down, I'm tryna wash his. Say something, I'll make it sound off. Oh, hold 100, I got the whole crowd off. We get the drop, we on your, we make these vacate. Do some time, we call it vacate. The sing, make it ring, better call for Mayday. Catch them slipping, they go nuts, cause they know it's payday. Wait, they say it's money on my coattail. Why you waiting? I got at your doorbell. Yeah, I drop 20, I drop 30 if it's smoked up. Last time I checked, I think my youngin' took us down. I quit sipping, I can't doze off. Spitting, get the ripping all the doors off. He was a troll, got old, I made him doze off. Put my shoes down, I'm tryna wash his. I quit sipping, I can't doze off. Spitting, get the ripping all the doors off. He was a troll, got old, I made him doze off. Put my shoes down, I'm tryna wash his.
Alright, what's up? This is Dave. This is Code Beats Day 5. In case y'all didn't notice, we're broadcasting live from the Engineering Research Building right here at VCU. One of the reasons we're doing that is because this is where we're going to have the final contest. We're going to be broadcasting from right here. Hopefully some of y'all will join me right here in the kind of like auditorium area. We've got some speakers all around us. It sounds great. Anyway, we're going to start right at 10. Until then, enjoy some more beats.
The ones that hate me the most look just like me. You tell me what that means. Make a slick comment and see what that brings. I seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like BMXing. These boys and they BMXing. People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I wanna be in that scene. Right, you wanna be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. What y'all think? Everything that you say about me. My dogs like to play Madden in 2K, but one thing they don't do is play about me. My homeboy Tyler, he playing South Beach. He told me this summer he gon' fix my jumper. I told Boy Wonder that we might got a thumper. I've been trying to pop, now I'm on like Shumpert. Now they on my bumper. Green room chock full of all my comforts. Hotel room like heaven on earth. Got angels. Pro Nemo, Lucci and Keys, Sloop Clay Tufo, and I got a few more I call my brothers. I got a lot of flows and they all like butter. Ooh, you know what that means. I came home nice, but I'm going back mean. I'm about to globe trot when they know a vaccine. Zach lost, but they know exactly what's going on. Made a meal and I don't know where to blow it on. I tell a critic shut up like my show is on. Gave a t-shirt to her, said throw it on. She want a mini high school classmates, I'm growing on. My peers ain't popping, they don't know what's going wrong. Y'all well dressed, but you ain't got soul and you just can't sew it on. I'm trying to tell y'all boys, I got a few songs I can sell y'all boys. I tried it back then, it was hell nah, boy. Now I'm in a box like a Kellogg's toy. The ones that hate me the most look just like me. You tell me what that means. Make a slick comment and see what that brings. I seen it go down, we can reenact things. Extreme like BMXing. These boys and they BMXing. People in the city see the movement occurring and say, my God, I wanna be in that scene. That's right, you wanna be in this scene. She had the video trying to be in this scene. Used to fantasize about being this scene. Bluegrass girl, but she got big dreams. Can't touch me, I got instincts. Locked in the house, but I'm plotting things. I brought a gang to the party with me. 5 white boys, but they not in sync. No, they not in sync. No, they not in sync. Word to JT, no, they not in sync. Word to JT, no, they not in sync. No, they not in sync. No, no.
All right. We're going to go ahead and get started for today. Hope y'all are having a great day. Here we go. Hope y'all are having a great day. Welcome to day 5 of Code Beats. As you can tell from earlier, we are broadcasting live from right out here in Engineering Building where we're going to have the Code Beats competition. So keep that in mind. It's going to be awesome when y'all do that, when y'all come here. Anyway, day 5 of Code Beats. We're going to get started right now. Here we go.
Married to the game in many ways, it's many other phases. Data structure places and programming where chords go. Had to take a photo, snapshot of the good life. Music made a good wife, never had a good sight. First position 0, now we up at the top. Website Google Earth got me coding the block. No, the notes don't stop, cause it's stuck in sustain. The money always flowing like it's foreign exchange. Music's always here cause it's stuck in your brain. The last of my name, cause lunch is going super insane. Like super insane. You thought I was playing. Cause lunch is the creator, there's a chance to be a rapper. But to get to where I'm going, see I gotta go faster. Going up the tempo, get inside the limo. Cut it up like kendo. Never using memo, only take it in cash. Never going crazy, only focused on task. You know I got me a sash, and I walked on the stage. BCU degree, know I got me the grades. And now you know that I'm gonna get paid, hey.
All right, there we go. That's the end of our intro song. For those of you that don't know, that's actually Lunch Special. He is a former VCU student, and those albums, the album that has all of the intro songs on it is available on Spotify, Apple Music, etc., Amazon Music, YouTube Music, whatever you want. If you just search for Code Beats, Code Space Beats is the name of the group, and Summer Camp is the album. You can listen to that all you want. It's got about 10 songs on it. So if you're liking those intro jams, check it out. It's a good way to get through the weekend because, you know, we don't have class on the weekend. We start again on Monday. All right, so today what we're doing first, as we always do, we're going to test your knowledge of hip-hop, and we want y'all to start off with Finish That Line. We're going to start off with our line from a rap song, and you're going to see if you can identify the song and, of course, finish the line. Let's check it out. Let me give you the Minty link just in case you haven't got it yet. And there is that link for you. All right, back to there, and here we go. Get logged into Minty. I know you had enough. I know you had enough of me. How does that finish? But want no more of me, but stay a while. I know you had enough. Enough of all the negativity. Think about you every day, just like a diamond in the rough. It starts off, I know you had enough. Know you had enough of me. How does it finish? Think about recent songs that you might have heard. It might be familiar to some of y'all. It's a pretty popular song. I'll give you just another minute or so to check it out. Just one more second. And all right, let's take a look at that answer right now. Here we go. Y'all say it is But Stay a While, and in fact y'all are correct. But Stay a While, ooh, I know you had enough of me. Check it out. Here's the real song, and here's how it goes.
I know you had enough. I know you had enough. Stay a while.
I know you had enough of me. Get on down if you bad enough. You and all your friends hopped up that Billy truck. You doing your thing, baby, live it up. You showing out and you don't give a It's the rodeo, gonna touch your toe. I'ma hit you from
All right, that's where the line was. Y'all did really good of identifying that line today. Now, first up today, we're going to be learning about music first today. Of course, Taylor's going to tell us what's up. So pay attention as we start this segment of Decoding the Beat. Here we go.
Hi, Taylor Barnett here from VCU Music with your music lesson. Today's lesson is all about chords. Chords are a combination of pitches that work together to create what we call harmony. Now, musical cultures from around the world use harmony in incredibly diverse and creative ways, and chords are just one way that we find harmony in music. For your purposes, you can think of a chord as a combination of 3 or 4 notes from a scale which are each separated by one skipped note. Almost all the chords you'll work with will use every other musical letter and can be built on any note of the scale. So, ignoring sharps and flats for a moment, any 3-note chord will use one of these letter combinations. Depending on the distance between each note, each different type of chord will have a specific sound and mood. The 2 most common chord qualities are major and minor. In most circumstances, major chords will sound happy to us, and minor chords will sound sad or kind of moody. While major and minor are by far the most common, there's other chord qualities as well, including diminished. Diminished chords sound even darker than minor, and they hold a lot of tension. To understand the system that musicians use to name and number the notes in a chord, let's first take a look at a scale. Here we have the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. I've numbered each of the notes in the scale in order, and if we were to build a chord built on 1, we'd get C as the root, is what we'd call that. E, since we're skipping notes, would be the next note in the chord, and we'd call that the third, because it's the third note. And then G would be the next note in the chord, and that would be called the fifth. If we had another note, we would call it the seventh, because we would skip the A and have the B. So we call C the root of a C chord, E the third, and G the fifth. So let's take a look at what that would look like. And then when we hear that, it sounds like this. Now here's what gets a little tricky. We can build a chord off of any note. So if I wanted to build a chord off of F, I would then call F the root, and then I'd have skip G, and A would be the third, skip B, and then C would be the fifth. And you can look at it on the piano here by skipping the keys. And that would make an F major triad. So even though F is not the first note of the scale, I would call it the root when it's the first note of a chord. And I would call the third the next note in the chord, and the fifth the next note. So F major would look like this, and would sound like this. So you can hear that these are both major triads. They're just built on different notes, so they are in slightly different register. But they have the same kind of sound, and that sound is based on the distance or interval between the notes. So let's take a look at that. It's easiest to notice this and make sense of it using MIDI numbers. So C is 48 and E is 52, so the distance between those is 4. We would call that half steps, so 4 half steps, or 4 MIDI numbers between C and E. And then between C and G, we have 48 to 55, so that's 7. So the distance between the root and the fifth would be 7. Well, let's check that with the F chord. From the root, 53, to the third, 57, is 4. So F and A are the same distance apart that C and E are. And the same is true from F, 53, up to C being 60. That's 7. So the root and the fifth are 7 apart. So these have the same intervallic or arithmetic relationship to each other if we use the MIDI numbers. So the difference between major and minor chords is actually found in the middle note, the third. I can make a C minor chord by just lowering that middle note, the E, by a half step to make it an E flat. And the simplest way here, since I didn't include E flat in my list of notes, was just to subtract 1 from E. And now let's listen to how that sounds by changing this C major into C minor. Notice that note, the third of the chord, is now 1/2 step or 1 MIDI number lower. Now do you hear the difference? The minor, kind of sad sound, and then the major sound. We can also add another note. I mentioned that 7th. So I can take a triad and add one more skipped note past it, G to B, and that would sound like this. This 7th is usually going to be either 4 away from the 5th, as it is here from G to B, or it'll be 3 away. So if I make this one note lower, I would have a different kind of chord, and that's called a dominant 7, or just a 7 chord. So we would call it C7. Notice now I have B flat in there. It's going to sound a little bluesy. And we can also add a 7 to a minor triad. The most common one here would be to add that B flat, the one that's 3 away from the G. So C minor 7 would sound like this. Notice that note just lowered. Something to point out here is that a triad is 3 notes. Makes sense. But when we add a 4th note, that 4th note we're adding is actually a 7th away, if you're counting scale degrees, from the root. So a 7th chord has 4 notes. More funky music math. Sorry, y'all. So in summary, chords are a combination of pitches that work together to create what we call harmony. 3-note chords are called triads, and the most common types are major and minor. The names of the chord tones come from the idea of the bottom note or root being numbered 1, and the chord is built by skipping notes in the scale. The difference between major and minor is based on the distance or interval between the root and the third, with a distance of 3 being minor and a distance of 4 being major. Sevenths are an additional note on top of a triad which create a 4-note chord. I hope this helps you understand what chords are and how to use these terms and labels. See you next time.
Thank you, Taylor. He just gave us a little rundown on chords. Now, chords are a little complicated, okay? So we're going to talk about those for a minute. Let me get my cursor over here real quick. All right, so chords are a little complicated, especially if you're not that into music, or if you, like me, played a single note instrument like a saxophone growing up. Chords are not something that you're like super familiar with. So, but they're not that complicated, really. They're just going to be a combination of notes that create harmony. For instance, a triad, a first, a third, and a fifth. There are 2 main types of chords. There's the major, and the major sounds what? Happy, right? Major sounds happy. And then there's minor, and the minor sounds what? A little bit sad or moody. What we call the root is kind of the bottom note of the chord, or the bass note of the chord, or the first note. So for instance, when you say a C chord, the C is the root. All right. Now interesting thing about TunePad, if we look at TunePad, let me get my cursor right here. TunePad has, I'm not going to do anything with TunePad except for mess around with its piano right now. You can see, there we have a piano. All right, I'm hitting 36 right now with my keyboard. You guys hear that? 36, and then I'm gonna hit 40. And then I'm also gonna hit 43. So when I hit those 3 together, can you guys let me know in the chat, do you think that's a major or a minor chord? There you go. That is a major chord because it is kind of happy sounding, right? So it's a happy sounding major chord. Now, shoot, I didn't mean to scroll down. All right, now let's listen to another chord and let's see if you can determine what this is. Alright, so looks like a lot of y'all know the difference. Major is happy. That's major. Minor is a little bit sad. So if you don't know that much about chords, that's really all you're going to need to know today is major and minor, right? You need to know that, of course, chords are made up of like notes that skip. It is the first note, not the second one, the third one, not the fourth one, the fifth one in a scale, okay? So that's kind of the basics of what chords are all about. Now, next up, everybody's favorite segment and the most important segment of today and in general, where you learn all about how to code. This is Coding with Doug. He's going to tell you the details of what you need to know in order to do today's activity. Take it away, Doug. Here we go.
Hello everybody, welcome to Coding with Doug at Code Beats. Today we are going to play a chord using TunePad. For that we can use multiple commands, play note, and play different notes at the same time. We can do that using parameter beats and parameter sustain. For instance, here I am playing 3 commands play notes at the same time, with the first 2 commands with beats equal to 0 and the third one with beats equals to 1, and each one with sustain equals to 1. So we can play the chord C major with notes C, E, and G, and also C minor with notes C, E flat, and G. Let's hear these chords that we are playing here. Wait a minute, is there a better way to do that? Yes, there is. So we can use here a computer programming resource called list. List is a type of data structure where we can group multiple values at the same time in one variable or one constant. So to do that, we can create a list the same way that we create a constant or a variable. For instance, here I can create a list called C major, and this list will receive the values or the variables C, E, and G. The same way I can create a list C minor that will receive values C, E flat, and G. So now I have 2 lists that each list has 3 variables, 3 musical notes, and I can use, or better, I can play 3 notes at the same time with one command play note. So let's do that. First, I will comment here the code that I have, and I will create the same melody play note here with only 4 commands: C major, then play note C minor, and I will repeat play note C major and play note C minor. Now I have 4 commands playing note that each command is playing a list, and this list contains 3 notes, 3 musical notes. So each time that I am going to play C major here, for instance, this command, we are playing notes C, E, and G at the same time. Let's hear it. And same here, when I'm playing C minor, I'm playing C, E flat, and G. So with lists, we can group and use multiple values at the same time. In computer programming, there are multiple ways to solve problems. You can choose the best one for you. So that's it for today. Thank you. See you all the next time.
All right, thanks Doug for showing us what's up with the code today. As always, very helpful. Now, what did Doug go over today? The main thing that he was going over today was, hold on a sec, let me get myself back here. Oops. All right, so the main thing he's talking about today is list, okay? Lists are a type of data structure, and it's basically how you store multiple things in one constant. So the reason that you might want to do this, if you're going to play a chord, how many notes are in a chord? 3 notes. If you try and write play note, play note, play note with 3 different notes 3 different times, it gets really kind of ugly. The code gets ugly. You have to do some weird things with sustain and beats, and it's just a drag, right? So the way to do this in a much cleaner way is to store all 3 notes in a list and then say play note and refer to that list. That way you can use all those values at the same time. And that's why we're using a list today. So you're learning to play these chord structures 3 notes at a time. So you store these 3 notes in a list, and then you say play note. With that list, it plays all the notes at one time, okay? It's just a much cleaner way to do it. So we've been talking about how to do it theoretically. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a worked example. And remember, worked example means that's when I do an example and you guys watch. Okay, so for this example, you're just going to watch me do it. And later on, you're going to get to do your own. Now, one thing I want to mention about today is we're doing kind of a different type of activity today. We're doing one where we reorder code, existing code. So it's going to be a little tricky today. We're going to have code that's all mixed up, and we're going to have to try and fix it and get it in the right order to make it work, okay? So it's a little bit different than what we've normally been doing, but it's still really helpful for learning exactly how code works. So let's look at today's worked example. Here we go. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see that better. Today's worked example is based on Do Rag by Baby Keem and Travis Scott. Let's check out what the beat sounds like. All right, pretty cool. Now remember, what we always do first is we hit remix. And again, I'm always going to sign in as guest, but you guys need to sign in with your normal username and password. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the first track and reorder the commands to make the track work, okay? So we're going down to the first track, and we see there are some problems. Now, let's look at the code. You can see there's a problem right off the bat, right here. Now think about it and let me know in the chat, what do you guys think is wrong in this case? What do you think's wrong? Can you explain why this code is not working? Line number 6, what's the problem in line number 6? Let me know in the chat. Line number 6, what do you think is wrong? Oh, y'all are getting good. Y'all are getting good. So, great. Y'all are getting the idea. This G minor, this variable right here, we have not defined it. So, all I need to do, it's used before it's defined. So I guess all I would need to do is take this, I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna paste it right above that. What do you think? Is that gonna fix everything for me? Does that fix everything? No, exactly right. That does not fix everything, because guess what? Now we have the same problem but with G and B flat and D. So we need to get those up at the top too. In fact, here's what I like to do. I like to put all my definitions, especially when they're constants. I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to paste this one up here. I'm putting all my definitions at the top here, okay? And what happens when you put all your definitions at the top is you stop getting these kinds of weird errors. So I put all these notes first, because these notes are used in this chord, and then I'm going to have the chord defined before it's used here. And then all of a sudden, we go from something that was totally not working to something that was working. And let's hear what that sounds like with the overall song. Okay, so that sounds better for sure, but now we are supposed to, as you know, go to the second track and reorder the commands to get a working verse for the beat. So now we need to fix the second track, and we have similar kind of problems here. Can anybody tell me one line I should move in order to fix this? What one line should I move to fix this? Refer to one line that I'm gonna move. Can anybody tell me in the chat? Let me know in the chat, what line should I move to fix this track? All right, people are saying either 13 or 7. Okay, that's the main answer I'm seeing, 13s and 7s. Now guess what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to move this line 7, and I'm going to put it below the definition of these, because G has to be defined before it's used here, B flat has to be defined before it's used here, and D has to be defined before it's used here, and then we should be good. What is going on though? Oh, I spy another problem. Do you guys see anything else wrong with this code? I do. It's also mixed up backwards here. That is interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, reorder that. So the parameters can be out of order too, right? And that would definitely confuse the computer. Computer's not happy when it's confused. Let's see if we got it fixed now. Oh yeah. There we go. So now, when I press play, all right, not the most exciting part, but it does work. Let's hear what it sounds like all together. All right, cool. So I think y'all get the idea there. So what we're doing today, again, we're focusing on how to reorder things, okay? Things are gonna be mixed up. You always gotta define something before you use it. Define it before you use it. That's what we're working on today. And it is now your turn. You are gonna be taking this beat. Let me play this beat for you real quick.
Oilo got the streets going crazy.
Just wait for it to drop. Here we go.
Say something, I'll make it sound off. Go hold on, 100, I can knock the whole crowd off. I don't need no vouch for me. My count can speak. Trying to bring up odds, I told that.
All right, so that's the song we're going to be using, and we're going to be using this activity link. Doug, if you can put that in the chat. Remember, we're going to remix it in TunePad. Y'all are going to use your username and password and do this activity. It looks, let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this, in-day class activity 1. It sounds like this. It takes a second to start. When you first start play, it's going to be silent, but then it starts. Alright, and it's up to you to do some fixing. You're going to go to the first track and reorder things so that this thing compiles and works, okay? So you're fixing this first track. Remember, you always want to have your definitions before they're used. So I'm going to give y'all, this one's a little harder, I'm going to give y'all 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back and talk about how to fix it. So go, 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 5 minutes, and then we're going to come on back. 5 minutes, go. Now you're supposed to go and fix this activity by reordering the lines that are there. Okay, fix the activity by reordering the lines that are there. If you have any questions, put them in the chat.
What are you working on?
Everybody come on back. Everybody come on back. If you haven't figured it out, we're going to take a look at this together. So come on back. Everybody come on back. I know this one's a little bit harder, so we want to go over this one together, okay? So this is Class 1 Activity, in-class Activity 1 for day number 5. Now, we're presented with this situation, all right? We see that there is a play note. Starts off with a D flat minor. Now, where the heck is that defined? Oh, D flat minor is defined here. So I know that that play note shouldn't be up here because it is, the D flat minor thing has to be defined before play note. Same thing with the G flat minor. So these just definitely shouldn't be up here. So what I'm going to do, these, I always like to have my definitions at the top. So I'm going to take these two guys, I'm going to cut them, and I'm just going to move them down below all of these definitions, and I'm going to paste them. Now, that is pretty good, except looks like I still have some problems. Let's see. 27. Oh, you guys see the problem here? It looks very similar to a problem where we had before. We had these things in the wrong order, okay? So I'm going to cut that. We want to play that A flat minor, and then we want to put that beats parameter, okay? So I think, does that get us all right? Oh, now on line 9. Oh, I see. D flat minor, which is used right here, is using this D flat. And it's also using this E. So I think I need to move these two guys up above that D flat minor. So you can see I'm just kind of reordering things very simply in order to make everything kind of work out. Oh, and it's the same problem here. Again, we have these G flat and A, and I'm moving these just above right here. Oh, so now you can see we have almost all of our definitions at the top. We have our notes defined before our chords, and everything seems to work, and I bet if you press play, so I think we got it. So that's how that works. But again, this is a tricky concept. Reordering things is a little tricky. So what do you think about that activity? Was that like blowing your mind? Was it, awesome? Was it awful? What do you think? Let us know right here in Menti. Let me put that code right out there, right here. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a little background noise. Sorry about that. We have a generator or something over there that's making a little bit of noise. So, sorry about that. I'll put a filter on next time so you don't hear it. I am streaming from the building hall, so you can hear a few random things in the background. All right, and it looks like a lot of you have told us your opinion, so that is great. We're going to go ahead and move on. Thank you for telling us your opinion on these activities. That really matters. Yeah, so some of these are really hard, and that's not on purpose, but it's to stretch you, okay? So when you go to make your own beats, you're really going to be experts by the end of this. So some of these are challenging. Now, we talked about lists a little bit. We've kind of defined them a little bit, but I want to define them formally because that's something you're really going to want to understand what a list is. So here we go. We're going to have a little formal definition of what the heck a list is. Check it out.
Lists are programming structures that store multiple items in a single variable. Just like how a real shopping list will hold many items in one place. In programming, lists are structured like this. A descriptive variable is set equal to a list of items separated by commas. These items are inside a pair of square brackets. Every item has a number associated with its location relative to the beginning of the list. We call that number the index for that item. For example, in TunePad, we can create a chord by playing all the notes in the list at the same time. Remember that lists are great places to hold many values. Use square brackets and commas to separate the values. Each element has an index that identifies its place in the list. You can edit the list after it has already been made. Have fun coding!
Okay, so I am sorry, I was just muted and so I was talking to myself. Sorry about that, guys. I muted. All right, let's try that again. Here's what we're going to be doing. You're going to be using the Tyler Hero beat. That's funny. And we're going to be using this. And here is the activity you're going to be doing. All right, so just like before, you heard me play it already, but let me tell you what to do. You go to the first track, and you're going to be reordering the commands, okay? Remember, what we're doing is you're going to be trying to fix this first track. One of the things I recommend you do, okay, is you get all your definitions up at the top. And remember, you probably want to define your notes, then you want to define your chords, and that's a really good order that might fix a lot of your problems already, okay? So it's up to you to try and fix all these problems, and then once you fix these problems, you can even mess around with the other beat. I'm going to give y'all just about 5 minutes to do this. Go out there and get it. Thanks for telling me I'm muted. Sorry about that. All right, 5 minutes. Go, go, go. All right. Come on back. We are gonna move on, and I'm gonna show y'all exactly what we could do to fix this beat. So come on back. We're gonna take a look at this beat together. All right, here we are. This is class activity 2. All right, let's take a look at this real quick together. Now, what was going wrong in this? Remember that, it's going to show you some errors, but sometimes when things are out of order, it's showing you errors, but it just kind of gets confused on what's going down. So what I would recommend is that you just start looking for problems yourself. For instance, you see that there's this E major chord that refers to E flat, G, and B. So you're going to want to find those E flat, G, and B and put them above the E flat major chord. However, I know that we just want to put the notes first. So I'm just going to take all these notes and I'm going to go ahead and move them first. Okay, so I'm just going to cut these notes and I'm going to go ahead and move them up to right here. And, well, there's some other notes that I think probably need to go upwards too. So I'm just going to move these notes upwards. Remember, it's always just a good idea to put the notes before the chords, because then the order is kind of correct. All right, so now we're making progress, but we still see, hey, there's some problems. And now we start looking at this error down here. Oh, it's saying something about line 24. Let me look at line 24. Oh, yeah. I see we have that same old problem where somebody's mixed up the ordering of the beats versus the chords. So I'm just going to take that E flat major and I'm going to cut that and move it to the front here. And now that's the right order. And then I'm going to see, the same kind of problem right here. I'm going to take that F minor. I'm going to copy it with Control X. I'm going to cut it with Control X and paste it with Control V. And then, let's see, if I hit return. Uh-oh, now what's happening? F minor is not defined. On line 15. Oh, I see. Where is F minor? Oh, there's F minor right there. So I'm going to have to move this chord up actually too. And let's go ahead and move this guy up. Chord is now moved up. And B minor is not defined. You know what? I'm just going to move all the chords to the top too, just like I did with the notes. And so I'm going to cut that and move it right on up. And now let's see, we should have everything working for us. Let's hear what that sounds like. So we got it sounding good, and we have done what we needed to do. Excellent. All right. Tell me your opinion about that activity. That one was definitely, harder. What do you think about it? Was that, too tough? Too awesome? Too easy? Let us know. What do you think about that? There's a bunch of y'all on the stream, and so let us know what you think about it so that we can, include it or not include it in the next camp. You want to help out those next group of kids. Hello. I didn't click remix. You're right. I didn't click remix. My bad on that. Y'all are right about that. Bummer. Y'all are so right about that. I appreciate your concern. Let me know in Mentimeter. Y'all are so right about clicking remix. I appreciate that y'all are more on top of it than I am. Give me the feedback about this activity. It looks like a lot of y'all have. Y'all are a great class, as I mentioned. Now, also, how much did you like the music today? Was today's music your favorite? You loved Jack Harlow, or it was okay, or you hated it, or, how'd you feel? How you feel about that music? Pretty awesome? Pretty lame? Pretty great? What do you think? That's right, it's almost time to Kahoot. Y'all know what's going on. All right. All right. Thank y'all so much. Now, you know what time it is. It's time to get set up for the class activity. I want y'all to go and look at this class activity. Take a second to click on it and open it up in your browser. So click on this. Doug is putting it in the chat. I want you to, before we start the quiz, I want you to click on this because it's really important that y'all do these in order to really drive home what we've learned today, okay? So I'm not going to show you this one. This is day 3. You know, y'all have really got the hang of it. You should be able to kind of get through that yourself. But I want you to take a minute, click on it, look at it, and just read the directions. Make sure you hit remix and TunePad. Don't be like me and don't hit remix. You need to hit that remix and save it kind of in your account, okay? So I'm going to give you another couple seconds to do that. And here we go. It is quiz time. Remember to use the same name. All right, I'll give y'all just a minute or two to log in. And let's make sure I give you the link. All right, we got the wolf, the alien, the crown, the cat, the soccer ball, the hamburger, the dragon, the snowflake. Lots of good contestants today. The donut. I had a couple of those this morning. All right, I think we are ready. Here we go. Answer quickly to get more points. What is a chord in music? What is a chord in music? A group of instruments, a group of commands, a group of harmonic notes, or a group of musicians? What is a chord in music? What do you think? What is a chord in music? Let me know. There you go. Y'all are on it today. You paid attention today. Excellent. It's just a group of notes that sound nice together, a group of harmonic notes, let's say. And y'all are on it. Juju's the fastest. Gracelia, very fast as well. Question 2 of 5. Here we go. How can we play a chord in TunePad? How are you going to play a chord in TunePad? Are you going to use the command play chord? Are you going to use a list? Are you going to use the command play notes? Are you going to use the command play note with parameters beats and sustain? How can we play a chord in TunePad? How can we play a chord in TunePad? Doug's got some tricky ones in here today. This one is hard. Yep, that's right. So using a list or using the command play note with parameter beats and sustain. There is no command called play notes. Remember that computers are very precise. If you get even one letter wrong, like if you said play notes instead of play note, then it would not understand what the heck you're talking about. Computers are very stupid in that way. They only understand exactly the right thing. Question 3 of 5. Answer fast to get more points. How are chords related to computer programming? How are chords related to computer programming? Are they a variable with a single value? Are they kind of like data structures? Are they a variable with multiple values? Or are they kind of like functions? What do you think? How are chords related to computer programming? What's the most similar thing in computer programming to a chord, if you had to make an analogy? This is another tricky one, but I think you guys and gals can do it. Let's see. And that's right. It is a data structure, and it is also a variable with multiple values. Very good. Most of y'all getting that correct. Excellent, excellent work. right. Next up, question 4 or 5. What are the most common chords in music? Are they sad, the sad chord, the major chord, the happy chord, or the minor chord? What are the most common chords in music? The sad chord, the major chord, the happy chord, or the minor chord? What do y'all think? The charging chord. If you play music on your phone, I guess. And that's right, major and minor are the most common chords in music. Major and minor are very simple, happy and sad sounding chords, but they are called major and minor. Looks like Gracilia is in the lead, leading into our last question. Question 5 of 5. Answer fast to get more points. How can I create a chord, a list, with notes C, E, and G? Do I do C major equals C, E, G? Do I do C major equals brackets C, E, and G? Do I do C major equals brackets C, E, G? Or do I do C, E, G equals C major? Yeah, these are getting tough. Doug ain't playing around with y'all anymore. He expects y'all to know something by Friday. Exactly. C major equals C, E, G. You got to use those commas. You can't use the word and. So that was a little tricky. We got some of y'all with that word and, but you got to use those commas. Let's see who's our winner today. It's going to be tight. Real tight. Wow. Really tight. Let's see. And Jeff is our big winner today, followed by, congratulations, Jeff, Gracilia, Juju, Neurosurgeon, Caleb, Jasmine, Swift Fox, Nina, Lyric, and Timothy. Way to go, y'all. Excellent work today. Excellent, excellent work. All right. Now, what we need y'all to do, we've been doing this class for a week now. We have one more week. Next week is the big week where you're going to really put lots of time into creating your own beats. But we need y'all to answer this survey. Click on that link right there and answer this survey. And we're going to do that right now. Answer this survey right now. We need to get feedback. We're continually making this course better, and we need your feedback in order to make this course better. Y'all are the key to your own happiness next week. So make sure you tell us what your opinion is, and by clicking on that link and giving us feedback, and if you want to write in the comments, the comment kind of questions, those are great if you want to write kind of what you think about things, but just do this survey. Remember, we're helping Doug get his PhD here, so this is a big deal for Doug. Don't make Doug sad. That would be the worst. Nothing makes Doug sadder than when people don't fill out surveys. I'm telling you. That really upsets Doug. So please don't do that. All right. While you're doing that, I'll also mention that we have a help session today at noon, just like we do every day. And if you have problems with your beat, or today was a challenging day, if you want to get some extra help, come there. We'll help you work through exactly how to do things. Zoom is the same as always, but it's right there in case you need it. And it's also in the chat. And of course, if you have any questions, you can put them into Menti. But I think y'all generally don't usually ask your questions kind of as we're going through. So I'll give you just 10 seconds to ask questions if you have any, but really we're about to close this out. Make sure you do that survey. Make sure you do that survey. Keep Doug happy and do that survey. Whoa, what the heck? I did not remix in too bad. You are right. You are right. All right, we're going to call it a day. Thank y'all so much for coming this week. It's been a great first week, but remember, next week is super important because we're going to be going through exactly how to make your own beats. We're going to be preparing for the contest. The contest is going to be right here. I'm going to show you again as we leave out right here in this building. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's also going to be online as well. So if you can't make it here, that's fine. And I will see y'all on Monday at 10 a.m. I will see y'all Monday at 10 a.m. Have a good weekend, and make sure you fill out that survey.
Ha 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 ha!